The Orville, Season 1, Episode 6. Krill. Oh,
You say
zooplankton?
that
Or the krill
would you
zooplankton? Or are they
say this
just little...
episode would you say this episode was Krill or be Krilled?
Sometimes.
Ha! It deserved exactly one ha.
Oh, they're crustaceans. Alright, they're
And
yeah.
now I just suddenly have the song Shiny stuck in my head. Because you
Huh?
mentioned crustaceans.
Yes. Okay. So... Krill. Interesting episode. They hunt space vampires.
Yep.
Yeah.
And we find out why the krill wear helmets. Well, one of the
Mhm.
reasons they wear helmets. There's probably a decent amount of that is just yeah.
Looking snazzy.
Well, it's looking snazzy. It's military usefulness. It's a pragmatic step. It's also a pragmatic step from makeup, because then you just have to come up with a costume. You don't have to actually just put the helmet on them. You don't have to actually make up everybody. Like a krill, you don't have to do all those prosthetics. You can just plop a helmet on them, say that's it. A bit like you know, uh, potatoes.
Centauran.
Centaurans, yes. Yes, I know, we look like pink weasels to him, but it's what I could remember at the, at the time. But yeah, if you have the Centaurans, if you just put the blue helmets on them, you just have to come up with the costume. You don't have to do a bunch of prosthetic work. So it saves on that. And it's pragmatic as it is. Like, why aren't they? The bigger question would be, why aren't they wearing helmets? So, which, the krill kind of look like, they almost look like white Jim Hadar to an extent.
Kinda.
Almost. There's definite differences. Like, they don't have as pronounced, Jim Hadar don't have as pronounced ridge up the middle. It's not quite as pronounced, and the ridges aren't quite as pronounced, and it doesn't quite wrap all the way around to the back like the krill was all the way back and around the back of their heads, back all the way around to their ear, it looks like a seashell in that regard. But if that stopped a little bit further up, then it would look more Jimandari. And they didn't have the little things, but they look the little chin hooks. But yep.
My connection died, but I'm back.
Good.
Did you close?
You didn't miss anything. I was just describing the krill.
Something I don't even know about anyway, so that works.
Yeah, so
I do suggest you watch it though at some point because I think you really like it.
I definitely plan to.
yes, I can tell you how to do that.
Oh, I already sent him a link.
Okay.
I have the Dropbox page.
Well, mine is legal.
Oh, yeah, that's
but
pretty good.
it's a little shifty, but it's legal. It's getting it from a legal source. So this is the big. We're going to show you what's up with the krill.
They just wanted to be friends. And then they witnessed that ceremony where they took the severed head and stabbed it repeatedly, talking about how
Avis.
praise
Avis. We try harder. And that's basically the basically all of almost all of Malloy's jokes for the entire thing are just Ava's
The
jingles and
brown
mottos. Though how does he have such an in-depth knowledge of the jingles and that?
dude, he has an in-depth knowledge of all things. He is Tom Paris.
Fair enough. Yeah.
He is Tom Paris. I would not be surprised if he had a like old school TV somewhere stashed away.
Well, they've shown they have viewing screens that they can call up anything basically in the library. So
Yeah, Tom Paris had an old school TV, even though they can watch anything on viewing screens.
yeah.
There's just something about the
Vintage.
experience of an old school television set.
Complete with popcorn.
Yes.
I mean, it's not necessarily an insult to be compared to Tom Paris, because
It is not.
fucking rocks.
Tom Paris was the best flyboy of Star Trek.
So they
Soft harder than Maud.
so they are faced. Oh yeah. The first bit is Bortus. They find out that Bortus can basically eat anything because Malloy's got him he's got himself a plate of sushi, and he's like, "You want to try some? It's an Earth delicacy, raw fish." And Bortus just picks up a big ball of wasabi and just eats it like it's nothing. It's like, whoa, are you all right? It's like, our digestive system is more resilient.
I would be throwing up and crying at it if I ate that.
Yeah. We can eat a lot of things. We can eat most things. It's like, so you can eat anything? I can eat most things. It's like, can you eat this napkin? And he just
Anything you can eat, I can eat better.
I was just thinking of that, dude.
I blame Trixie.
well, and then you got the cactus. He goes and gets a cactus, and it's like,
Don't do that. Okay, eat this glass.
yeah.
I love the fact that 1 minute Alara's like, don't make him eat a cactus. He's gonna get hurt. He just noshes on it and is like, okay, eat this cup.
Yeah. That sounds awesome.
Well, she's the security officer. Also, one of their side conversations was how it's hard to have a boyfriend when most guys are emasculated when you can lift 10 times their strength.
Fair point.
Stronger than them. Which I don't see the problem. I like emasculating people that way.
Anyway, so they get through all this, and there's an attack on Castra 4. The Orville being the only ship in range, they go to fight a Krill destroyer, the Kakoff. And yeah, they've got no business dealing with it. It's a bit like Voyager going up against a Dideridex. It's essentially the same sort of matchup. One has no business fighting the other. A galaxy against a Dideridex, okay. That's pretty even matching. But like an Intrepid against a Dideridex, like, no, that's too big. But they managed to drop into the atmosphere and blind their sensors, and then while their sensors are blinded, they pull up and just fire everything, all the torpedoes, and just annihilate the Krill vessel, except for a shuttle, which they capture, which they ordinarily would be picking apart, taking it back and having the Union scientists, pick it apart for, learning about their technology. But no, they're going to send them out to try and get a book.
Their Bible.
Yes.
Although it sounds more like the Quran the way they phrase it. Even the name of it.
My.
Yes.
But
Um. Yeah, they did see, but yeah, they sent him on to, like, they get a full, like, admiral comes on. It's like, no, you're going to do this. It's like, okay.
What if I don't want to
So
do this?
uh, and so they have holographic generators. They get some holographic generators from Isaac, and disguise themselves as Krill.
and he comes on board with he goes into the shuttle bay with the gun against the captain's back. He's like, all right, which one of you is
Bortus.
huh?
Yeah, which one of you is Bortus? Like,
Yeah, which one of you is Borden?
eat
I am
this.
Borden. Eat my gun. What? Dude, it's just me. You aren't taking this seriously. You could die. That's why we're not taking it seriously, because otherwise we're going to be pissing ourselves instead of doing our jobs.
Yes, and they
This is why military people tend to have such extreme gallows humor. Because
it's either that or go crazy, and
exactly.
I would prefer to be a little inappropriate with the humor than go crazy.
Agreed.
Yup.
Yep.
Ew.
Sorry, I've just kind of worked Big Mac into my
That sounds
everyday
creepy.
speech.
Oh, you meant like that.
Yeah, it's strange how the asexual one is the one with the kinkiest thoughts.
Anyway, so they take the shuttle into Krill space, and they realize they haven't thought about what to call themselves, what names to use, and
And they come up with the most random exotic names.
like,
And then when they get there and they're finally faced with naming themselves, oh, I'm Chris and this is Devin.
yeah, those are odd names. Yes, not like Heros or Sazerad. Yes, huh. But they go into they get there in time for services, and they meet Talea, who
That's
becomes
a pretty name.
who become interested in her because her brother served on the Cake-Off, and Sazerac just starts stabbing a head in a bucket rather viciously, because these people see other life, they have, they are divinely, ordained to, take over everything. If there's resources, it's not immoral for them to take them because it's theirs to take. The others are just, anybody who's down there is just in the way. Um, So they sneak back in after the services, and start taking pictures of the pages of the Ankana. To which the high priest says, "What are you doing?" And they sort of make a thin excuse and leave.
And the high priest is like, son, yes.
Suspicious. Post a guard. He's like, Captain's like, really? Yes. Okay. Yeah, he says,
I don't trust those troublemakers.
you have always had a suspicious nature, my friend.
They're
But then you
really
have earned that
sick.
right. Eros agrees to send guards to watch Chris and Devon. The generators fail. They hide behind the altar and they sneak past the guard back to their room, which is thankfully just on the other side of the hallway from the sort of temple, altar, temple, sort of religious room, the chapel. And then they realize, hey, it's okay, it's interference, and like modulate past the interference and get their stuff working again. So they're gonna go check out the magnetic interference, and then they go to figure out what's causing it, and they find the enormous Krill bomb several decks below.
Boom.
Yes, well, hopefully not. So they have dinner with Talea, and
Find out that it's planned to actually go off on a human settlement.
yep,
And they're like, "Ah, crap, we can't let that happen." It's like, yeah, but then we're going to end up killing everybody on here.
yeah.
Okay, our people or their people? It's krill or be krilled.
Thank you, Pun Pony.
Yes.
Yeah, they're going to destroy the Yakar by. So they decide we're going to destroy the Yakar by detonating the bomb themselves.
But then, while they're in the while they're talking about to one of the kids about the light and why their skin looks different, they're like, "Dude, they're vampires.
Yeah,
Let's just give them a serious sunburn.
yeah.
We'll just get burned and they'll get fried."
Yep.
But we can't do it because we aren't baby murderers.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they stash the kids in a room, turn off the lights, and then set off the light to go off on everywhere else on the ship. And Gordon gets caught in the middle of this.
Yeah. And while all this is going around, he brings that one kid back to the thing so that when it goes off, it won't harm them. Keeps them in there, and then about that time, while Malloy is captured and stabbed and kept on the bridge to watch, the fully armed and operational battle station. The light bomb goes off and kills everybody on the bridge. He complains about the stabbing. It's like, that was a brand new leg.
Yes. I love the continuity there.
Yeah. And he goes over and taps on the console, and he looks like a lobster from the UV exposure, but he stops the he basically fires on the weapon and stops it from detonating on the planet and just blows up in space. The ship is left intact. Everyone on board is killed except Mercer, Malloy, Talea, and the kids.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Oh, of
And-
course, Talia's pissed.
Oh yeah. After they drive back the ship back to Union space, which has got to be massive credit to him that okay, you risked a shuttle to get the book, and while you were out, you picked up a destroyer to bring back.
Yep.
Like, yes, they will be returned, and yeah,
And then
then
Talia's like, why didn't you kill us? Well, they're innocent. They're children. They're not part of our war.
yeah, they have their whole lives ahead of them. They're not my enemies. To which Talea,
Well, they
After-
are now.
after what they saw you do today, they will be. They will be. They will be.
That was good.
Will be.
You do a really good Yoda.
Yes, I just have to warm up.
Yoda
I also do a
man.
Morgan Freeman.
Nice.
Yeah,
And
he does Starlight Glimmer as Morgan Freeman.
it's as funny as it sounds.
It is awesome.
It is.
And I've just been working on my John Delancey.
Anyway,
You're never going to get Q though. Q is my role always.
I wasn't planning on taking it. It's just that what if I take part in another project that needs a Discord?
True. That's fine.
but anyway, so yeah, this Tilly has a more Machiavellian thing. It's like you should have just killed us all. It's like sparing us is, is just going to, allow for, these kids to grow up and be angry. I mean, she's reading from the Evil Overlord tips. Remember that list? It's pretty funny. I should go back and read that one again. Basically, I will not hesitate to kill all the spawn or all the children of my enemies as well, so that they do not come up and attack me afterwards. But it was that was a fun little episode. We got a little bit more information about the Krill, and it was kind of cool to see them use something clever to get rid of them, to get rid of the Krill, which should be interesting from now on. It's like, yeah, if you're fighting under it now, if you're fighting in a sunlit sky, just rip their helmets off of them. That's all you need to do is get their helmets off of them, and they die.
I wait for at some point. Haha, SPF 5000, bitch.
Yeah, they come out and it's a Krill, but he's got this oily mess all over him. It's like, sunscreen, we invented it.
Hey, they finally made Hot Pockets for Gach.
Oh, Hot Pocket for Gach wouldn't work. Gach has to be eaten raw.
Well,
If you heated it up in the microwave, it wouldn't be raw anymore.
That's true.
You'd kill the Gach, and then it wouldn't be any good.
Well, I mean, Gach is already in a sauce that is slowly killing them. How else does it get its flavor?
But you're not. If you cook them in the microwave, you will kill them. You want them to linger long enough that they're still moving when you eat them. And a hot pocket with
true.
A hot pocket with Gach in it wouldn't work.
Yeah, it's Gach, not
Gach.
Gach.
Yeah.
Gach is
Gach.
a singer.
Gotta emphasize the.
Yeah. Getting the phlegm right can be a little.
Yeah.
Gach.
Gesundheit.
Though good if you have congestion.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, they go in for in total they go in for a book, just to
Like
get a
out an
book and
entire
leave. Get a copy of a book and leave. But they end up taking down a doomsday device, killing almost everybody on board, taking the ship, and returning it to Union intelligence and engineering so that they can pick it apart for knowledge on their technologies. So, yeah. Any other thoughts on the Krill episode?
I need to watch this show.
Able to make friends with them, but it takes a lot of work to get over those prejudices.
I'm just waiting for the giant space whales to eat them.
Space whales?
Yes, whales eat krill.
Oh,
Ah.
wait.
But that's
I
a
thought you
completely
said
different
wow.
series.
I thought you said space whales.
Yeah, I did. Space whales.
You know, it would have been
No.
a better name. It would have been another name for this episode. View to a Krill.
License to Krill?
Uh,
The holy krill.
That's a little apropos.
I don't even know what that word means, so...
I am floofy.
No, I don't care.
I am sexy.
No,
all
you're
right. Well,
not.
I'm gonna call it there.